must all be united in terms of our vision and goals. And if some of us have different philosophies or goals, then we have to sit down and work them out to make sure that at the end of the day we can all reconcile our differences and have a common goal. So if some people don't share the same opinions as others, then they have to suck it up and go along with the rest. Because as a one CSC, you must move as one body to effect a contribution. I hope the rest will feel the same.
Having said that, your statements should not be influenced.
For me, I think that what's important for the one CSC, one committee, is that you have a common goal to work towards. But in working towards that common goal, different viewpoints within our committee is unavoidable. So, I mean, like what I previously mentioned, that different viewpoints is not necessarily a bad thing. Some people may see it from one angle, I may see it from another angle. We can spot each other's pros and cons, then sit down and discuss it, and find the best fit solution for the college. So I think differing viewpoints within the committee is not a bad thing, as long as we are working towards the same goal.
I guess like from here, I agree with hanging out. In a sense that there's definitely important to have actually a same common goal, but actually at differing viewpoints we shouldn't see a differing viewpoints as a bad thing, as not as a conflict, but actually your differing viewpoints actually is a good thing in the sense that you actually, for example, you see an object, you see from this perspective, but you cannot see what is actually behind the object. When actually there is someone else that is standing behind the object, which can see what is behind the object. So basically when you actually come sit down, right, and discuss in a friendly terms, right, you actually can see the big picture of what the object really is in a sense. So actually you can actually tackle matters better in the sense if you actually see the object in a full perspective and not on your own perspective.
Actually, I just add on quickly, I agree with what you say about different viewpoints. Actually, I think that having different viewpoints is very good. Because if everyone thinks the same way, then you won't be able to do like different things and really see like where's the error. But I think that ultimately, even though we have different viewpoints, it's not about whether we want to try to make sure that we have the same view, but more of making sure that what we present is the same view. So I would say that we shouldn't try to have the same view, but present the same view, which is more important than which we should go into.
I'd like to say something. Based on what you mentioned just now, actually reminds me a lot of the type of project works that I've gone through. I've done actually, I'm through 2 years of junior college, another 3 years in polytechnic, and right now in business school. You see a lot of instances, a lot of moments where groups just cannot come to agreement. But based on what I've experienced, what I've lived through, I feel that ultimately, right, when it boils down to leadership, the leader must have the implicit authority to weigh each and every member's opinions. So in this sense, I think we can all agree that we have one common goal, which is to preserve and protect the warm and friendly environment here. Am I right to say that? Correct? So I'm actually very relieved and happy that we're actually working towards one common goal, and that is what unites all of us. And having said that, right, I'm also happy to know that to have members who will dare to raise differing and opposing viewpoints, it shows that we consider every interest that may be possible in the entire student population. But at the end of the day, the leader has to have the implicit authority to weigh each member's opinions and to give the assurance that everybody has their rationale and thinking heard and thought through. That means we are not dismissing any opinions at all. We actually hear it through and we weight it, and ultimately the decision is made. It may not please everyone, but ultimately everyone has been heard and has been considered. That's why it's important.
I think for me, as what Jeremy said, there will definitely be differing viewpoints. On the same hand, there will also be the same common goals that we seek towards. I'm trying to understand from your perspective because I've sat in councils and I've sat in places where there needs to be a common unity. And the only thing that I can answer you right now, that I think back from what I experienced back in when I was serving my national service, was that as much as we can negotiate with each other, it really boils down to our relationship. I think that's the most important thing for me, is to build a relationship with every single one of them. So much so that whatever I say, whatever they say to us, you know, and when we come together, it's not on a theoretical, hypothetical basis, but it's based on relationships. And that's something that I would want to bring to Tembusu also. That the CSC will be the same family that you've seen. Yeah.
Now, last question.
Let me add just one last thing. So basically, what we're all saying is we have a main goal. We have different opinions on how to do that. And the one thing that I was going to bring up that Jared brought up was our relationship with each other. Because like one thing that I learned from being in netball a long time ago was that whenever we play a game, right, you know how girls can be bitchy and stuff. But then when you play a game, whatever we do to each other on court, no matter how we shout to each other, no matter how much we hit each other on court, right, we never take it out on court because we're not parents. Because when it all comes down to it, we are one team, and if we all remember that, and if we all maintain that relationship, right, my netball team, even though we all had different mindsets, for so many years we were friends, no matter how much we shouted each other on court, because we remembered that we were a team, yeah, and we had each other's relationships too.
Last question. Jonathan?
Okay, so my question, I have this statement which is, nowadays I feel that the newer batches, they are getting more apathetic. They don't care that much about the Tembusu anymore. I mean, look at this session. It's more seniors than actually juniors. You don't see your peers actually caring. So like, and my second statement would be the issues that the Tembusu would face in the future. Many of them, like what Cedric talked about this learning community, there are things that cannot be done just through the CSC, through a top-down approach, and the engagement with the ground, how to build initiatives from the bottom up would be very important. So in light of these two statements, how are y'all, do you have any solutions? How are you going to cope with the new environment that the Tembusu is going towards?
I'd like to pick up from the very first statement when this session started. I actually mentioned that we actually have a very balanced culture right now, and I'm very happy to see that. But going forward to the second year, I was about to say that I think it's early. It's still early to be able to pass a judgment on that, because right now it's been only like three plus months. But I'm very happy and to know that we do have freshmen who show up on the radar quite frequently and who express interest. For example, intellectual pursuits. We have people like Donovan. We have in terms of artistic side, we have people like I'm not wrong, Joey over there, my friend Joey, who set up Tea Crew, and also Chien himself, who actually set up the Tea Kitchen. So I think these are it's a good start. But I think we have a lot more work ahead of us, trying to promote, trying to urge people to freshmen to step forward and contribute in their own ways. So I think we look forward to that.
I think I'll do it. I think I'll do it the same way as the dream that I set out for all rounds, is that once there is I mean, the com can only do so much. I hope to see that the people in my house and even subsequently in Tembusu will really be something that is student-led. Ideas that have been brought out, such as we should totally have a LAN session, 36-player LAN session, still in the works. But these things are there that people can catch on, and I guess these are the things that will really catch on to the second batch. I dare say that my batch, it's not that they are apathetic. I've heard so many people who says they really want to do things, maybe just not in this arena, and I hope to engage them through that. Maybe it's up to us to ask them to really egg them on. If we do need to egg them on, then I believe that will be one of our things that we can focus on also as a student government.
I think the reality of the situation is that this year we have 300 new freshmen with 300 new personalities and new interests. And what has worked for the past 1 year will not work for the next 1 year. Some of them will, but some of them will not. And for example, interest groups. An interest group is formed if, 5 people have a common interest and they want to start it up. What that means is that if the original 6 people graduate from Tembusu and now the freshmen are interested in the same interest group, it will close down. That is the reality, and it's not a sad reality, but that's the fact. But what that means is that the new 300 people, they have to find things that they are interested in, and they can start on their own. And I mean, every year we could see 20 interest groups starting up and another 20 passing away. And that would be fine, because at every point in time in Tembusu College, we would have interest groups that people are interested in, that people are interacting in and engaging in. So what would I do in CSC to get the freshmen less apathetic, more engaged, find out what they're interested in, give them every opportunity to start what they want?
I think what is important is to develop the sense of belonging to Tembusu, to feel like you are a significant part in the college. So once you feel like you can play a significant role here, you'll become more interested in like CSC elections, come down for the Q&A. You also want to share with your fellow peers in the college what you specialize in. Maybe you are very good at cooking, tea kitchen, so you set up your own, you initiate your own activities, then you set up tea kitchen like Uchi, and you can share with other people what you specialize in. And it's not just an isolated event. If you are good at this, you can teach other people. You are good at that, you can teach other people. So I think, yeah, student initiative.
Sure, just want to share a short story. How we started night cycling. So it's also about night cycling. That's what I've been doing for the past 1 year. But in the beginning, right, when we first started, I remember John almost spoke to me on Facebook saying that the first night cycling event was very successful, and then do you want to start a club like that in Tembusu? We'll be behind you all the way, resources-wise, people-wise. Just go ahead with your idea and go and do it. But that itself was like when we first set up as CSC. But before that, there was no such activities, no sports eventually. We are all just here to sleep and eat. We don't engage ourselves with activities. But it's really because of people like John who really inspire people like me who are really passionate about cycling to start this night cycling club. So I hope that eventually this CSC will also do the same thing as well. Give the students the power, the resources, the encouragement to start what they want to start, what they're passionate about. But also about closing down of interest group. I mean, night cycling almost goes down, which I was really sad about. Because we spent so much blood, sweat and tears trying to make this club work. Just me and two of us. But I'm glad that there's new people who are passionate about it that came and take over and make it such an awesome club. And do join them for Friday night cycling. Thanks.
Anybody else wants to comment? Okay. No, then we shall end today's session. Thanks for coming. And the next session we'll have on Thursday. We'll start at 8 promptly. So yeah, you can come down armed with questions. Then yep, we'll see you next Thursday. So if you have any more questions, you all can hang around and speak to the candidates if they are free. So thank you.